Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In my short 3-year credit journey, well, I kind of lied. My birthday will be a day after this post, so technically it'll be 4 years, but I thought it sounded better if I talked about my credit limit at the age of 21. But anyway, in my short credit card journey, I've amassed 11 credit cards and $68,000 in credit limit. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way and have really learned what credit cards I should be applying for by reading articles, watching YouTubers, and exploring r/credit cards. The world of credit cards is a vast and dangerous one, and one can easily get lost in the sauce when figuring out what card you should be applying for. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the credit cards that I've applied for, my reasoning for applying for them, and what I would change if I had a do-over. I'm hoping you can learn a little something along the way as I talk about my credit card journey in order to help you get maximum value from your credit card and credit card points. With that being said, let's get into the video. So the first ever credit card I applied for was the Bank of America Travel Rewards card. So this was back in August 2018, and I applied for this card. I went into Bank of America as soon as I turned 18. I didn't really know anything about credit cards at the time. I just knew I wanted to open one just so I can get a credit card in my name and start building up my credit score. Because I already had a bank account at Bank of America, I just chose one of their options and whatever they recommended to me at the time. I don't exactly remember what the sign-up bonus was at the time, but the current offer is 25,000 points after spending $1,000, which is not bad if this is going to be your first credit card. The original limit I received was $1,000, but they raised it to $5,000. Now we flash forward to November of 2018, so about 3 months later. I had gotten Amazon Prime Student for being a college student, so I wanted a card that could maximize the rewards. Now, I hadn't heard about the Amazon Prime Visa Signature Rewards card yet, so I applied for the Amazon Prime Rewards store card, and they gave me a starting credit limit of $1,400. Now, this card earns you 5% back on Amazon.com, so I was doing a good amount of spending through Amazon, so I thought this might be a good card to have. Additionally, I wanted to get a couple more cards just to build my credit, so this was a perfect card to do so. Now, I will say that maybe in hindsight, I should have gotten the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature card because that also gets you 2% in dining and a bunch of other categories, but it didn't really affect me in the long term. Now, I went almost a full year without applying for another credit card. The next credit card I applied for was in September of 2019. So this was when I had moved out of the dorms of Berkeley and was living in an apartment with 3 of my roommates. I knew I needed to do some spending of my own, whether it be through groceries and dining. Because we had a meal service when we were in the dorms, I didn't really need to spend too much on dining and groceries. I sought out for something that was higher than the 1.75x that I got on the Bank of America Travel Rewards, and I stumbled upon the Discover It Student Cashback. It's a little worn down, but it has a nice iridescent glow to it. But before we get into that, if you've enjoyed the video so far and learned a little something along the way, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment down below as it really helps to grow the channel. Thanks to your support, at the time of this recording, my first ever video on the American Express Gold is at 4,000 views. So thank you so much, and I hope to have your continued support in future videos. At the time, I was also looking into the Chase Freedom Flex and the Chase Freedom Unlimited, but I ultimately ended up going with the Discover Cashback because I thought maybe my credit score wasn't good enough and I might not get approved for the Chase cards. Chase is a bit notorious about approving first-time applicants, especially applicants with newer history, so I went for the safer option and got the Discover It Cashback. So the credit limit that they originally gave me was $2,000, but I believe they raised it to $2,600 maybe a year later. Now, what this card gets you is 5x rotating categories. So honestly, not too dissimilar to the Chase Freedom Flex rotating categories, except for this is you can only really redeem it for cash back. It's not points that you can transfer to travel partners, unlike the Chase points you earn from the Freedom Flex. The sign-up bonus was actually really good. So you got 2x rewards for all your purchases. So that means you get 10x at the rotating categories, and some rotating categories include groceries, restaurants, PayPal. So a lot of categories that I hit during my time in college. Additionally, it got 2x back on all purchases for the first year. So this was honestly a really good catch-all card. But I wasn't really satisfied with the 5x rotating categories 3 out of the 4 quarters of the year. I had no good card for dining, groceries, gas, which were major spending categories. So then I was looking at a couple options. One card I was looking at was the Capital One Saver One and the Saver cards. So I actually applied for the Saver One card, but I actually got denied, which might have been a blessing in disguise because then I did some research and found the Wells Fargo Propel card. Now, this is a card that is discontinued now. It is in the American Express network, but is issued by Wells Fargo. This was really a hidden gem to me. I also thought at the time of my application that I would be going to Portland for the summer for a software engineering internship. So I wanted a new card for the spending that I thought I was going to be doing that summer. To me, it looked like it covered a lot of the major categories that I needed. So this included dining, gas, and all travel. It was just a good card to catch a lot of the categories that I thought I would be spending when I was in Portland. But as we know, COVID happened and I didn't end up going to Portland that summer. The pandemic slowed down a lot of spend. I was living at home for the fall 2020 semester, so I had a lot of time on my hands and I was doing a lot of research into what are some good Chase credit cards and general credit card combinations. And that's when I stumbled upon the Chase Freedom Flex. I knew I was going back to college in spring 2021, and I wanted something that I knew could cover groceries and cover the spending that I was going to be doing anyway. Now the Chase Freedom Flex earns 5% on rotating categories, so similar to the Discover It cashback, but it also earns 3% on dining and 3% on drugstores. Now at the time of my application, which was November of 2020, the sign-up bonus was $200 after spending $500 in the first 3 months, and also an additional 5x in groceries, up to $6,000 in the first year of membership. It was a good idea to get into the Chase ecosystem early because of Chase's notorious 524 rule. You generally want to knock out all of the relevant Chase cards before you move on to maybe American Express cards and Capital One cards. So the Chase Freedom Flex was my main driver up until I knew I needed to go to Seattle for a software engineering internship for the summer of 2021. Again, I knew I was going to be doing a bunch of spend in summer 2021, whether that be airfare for flying to Seattle, traveling and visiting friends for the summer, and just general dining out. At this point, I already had the Chase Freedom Flex, and I was considering the Chase Freedom Unlimited, but this doesn't really give you super good travel benefits. So what I ended up applying for was the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now this is the old design. I have not gotten it replaced. I actually like this old design better than the new design. An additional reason why I applied for this card was I knew these Chase Sapphire Preferred had a really good sign-up bonus at the time, which was 80,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. So now this card gets you 5% on travel purchased through Chase Ultimate Rewards, 3% on dining, and 2% on general travel. Although it has quite similar earning categories to the Chase Freedom Flex, I use this as my daily driver to earn the bonus points because it was spending I was going to be doing anyway. I didn't spend more just to eat out, just to get the sign-up bonus. So it was basically a free 80,000 points on the spending that I was going to be doing anyway. Now this 80,000 points can be redeemed at 1.25 cents per point on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So that's a going rate of $1,000, which is not too shabby for $4,000 in spend. Now here's where things really start going off the rail. My parents came to visit me when I was in Seattle, and we took a road trip back down to California. Now obviously we needed to stay in hotels, and I knew that World of Hyatt was a great hotel transfer partner for Chase Ultimate Rewards. So along the way, we booked a bunch of Hyatt hotels, and I was really surprised by how convenient it was to just transfer the ultimate rewards to World of Hyatt and book a free night. I knew I wanted some way to get status and some way to earn more points when I redeemed stays at Hyatt hotels. And that's why I applied for the World of Hyatt credit card. I thought it was really good value. I got 5 qualifying tier nights toward Discover status. And in 2021, they actually have the cap for earning Explorer status and Globalist status. So Explorer status was 15 nights and Globalist status was 30 nights. I took full advantage of that and earned Explorer status through the beginning of 2023. My credit limit for this card was $12,200. With these cards, I thought I was satisfied. I had a bunch of cards that could satisfy dining spend, grocery spend, travel, a bunch of the categories that I was doing. But I knew that I was going to be vacationing for spring break during senior year. Along with the additional spending that I was doing in college, I wanted to get a card for just to earn points on the sign-up bonus. And going along with the theme of hotel credit cards, I applied for the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless and got a credit limit of $13,400. Now, I was thinking about a couple cards at this point. I was thinking about the Amex Gold, maybe the Capital One Venture X, and ultimately I decided to go with the Marriott card because I was getting close to the Chase 524 status. I believe at this point I was actually at 424. So if I got another card that was not Chase, I could not apply for another Chase credit card for another 6 months. The sign-up bonus for this card at the time was 140,000 Marriott Bonvoy points plus 1 free night award, which can be redeemed for up to 50,000 points. This is after spending $5,000 in the first 3 months. This was actually a record high sign-up bonus at the time. I actually like hotel cards better than any other loyalty cards. I decided to apply for this card. So I earned the sign-up bonus on this card, and I thought I was going to not apply for a card in the future. But I knew for the spring semester that I was going to be paying my tuition, and I wanted some way to earn rewards on this spending. Originally, I was looking at the Capital One Venture X or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. However, around the time of January 2022, which was when I was looking to apply for a new card, I was actually at 524. So I was locked out of any new Chase cards. So I actually applied for the Capital One Venture X. In case anyone doesn't know, the Capital One Venture X has an annual fee of $395, but gets you priority pass, access to Capital One lounges, has a $300 travel credit, and also gets you 10,000 miles after every account anniversary. In short, I think it's a fantastic card, but Capital One denied me, saying the reason as I had too many revolving accounts. I wanted to get this card because I knew I was going to be flying a couple times in the next semester and wanted to get lounge access, but it didn't work out. What I ended up going with is the American Express Rose Gold. I knew this was going to be my last semester of my senior year in college, so I wanted to go out, and that came with a bit of spending. January, February come and went. And then it was time for spring break. We went to Cabo, and a couple of my friends had the Amex Platinum, got into the Centurion Lounge in Phoenix, and also a Priority Pass lounge in the Cabo airport. Now, I originally didn't value lounge access that highly, but having the convenience of being able to stop by, grab a drink, grab some food, and just freshen up was really invaluable to me. When we're traveling, sometimes we don't have the opportunity to make sure we're not hungry, we're not thirsty. So it was just a quick and nice freshen up before we got into the airplane. And so after spring break, I actually really wanted to get a card that gave us lounge access. Now, again, I was looking at the Capital One Venture X, trying to see if there was any way I could get an approval, but I really thought there was no way I could do it without having maybe a Capital One savings account with them and having some history with them. If you note now, Capital One has rejected me for 2 of their cards, the Saver One card back in March 2020 and their Venture X card earlier this year. I didn't really want to get any of the other priority pass. I obviously couldn't get the Chase Sapphire Reserve because I had the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but I found out a way that I could get the Amex Platinum for quote unquote free. Now, this method involves having a Morgan Stanley account and depositing $30,000 with them, along with $5,000 in deposits every single month. Now, I will say I was definitely in a very fortunate position to be able to let go of this amount of money. Now, obviously, a lot of people can't do this, but having a couple internships definitely helped. So I did all of that and received the Morgan Stanley American Express Platinum, and had a sign-up bonus of 100,000 points after spending $6,000 in the first 6 months. I booked a lot of tickets to Europe and general spending around Europe, so I knew I would be able to hit this sign-up bonus. Now, both of these cards, the Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum, both are charge cards, so they don't actually have a credit limit. I believe that American Express does have some sort of back end in how much they're going to let you spend, but in general, it's going to be able to cover most of your purchases and you don't have to worry about a credit limit. Of course, I acknowledge that this is a bit dangerous because in theory, it's infinite spend, but again, as I've said before, use your charge card, your credit card, just like a debit card, and just reap the rewards you get. And finally, after hitting that sign-up bonus through Europe travel and general Europe spending, I came home and thought I wouldn't be opening up a card for anytime soon. I wasn't really going to go out. I wasn't planning on moving out anytime soon. So I thought maybe I don't apply for a card for another couple months, or maybe even until next year. However, leading up to Prime Day, I realized that the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature Card had an elevated sign-up bonus of $200 Amazon gift card upon approval. I discovered this because one of my friends in Seattle asked about maybe a different card than American Express, just so he could diversify his credit cards, just in case some merchant didn't accept American Express. I realized that there was an increased sign-up bonus and suggested that he apply for the card. And actually, because I gave that earlier Amazon Prime Store card, I allowed my parents to do Amazon spending on that. I needed an Amazon card of my own, so I pulled the trigger for the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature Card. I actually got a very high credit limit. I was pleasantly surprised with the $20,000 credit limit that I received. Again, this is a great card for all Amazon spending, 5% back on Amazon.com and Whole Foods. The other categories, restaurants, gas, I'm not really going to use. The main benefit is the 5% back at Amazon. So this is my credit card journey up until age 21. All of this added up makes up the $68,000 credit limit that I have right now. For now, I'm not looking to apply for any cards soon because I won't be doing any big spending in the future. But some cards I'm keeping my eye on are the Capital One Venture X. I'm trying to find a way that Capital One will approve me, so if you have any suggestions, do let me know. And also, I've been looking at some business cards. I do want to get this YouTube channel up and running. So some cards I've been looking at are the Wyndham Rewards Earner Business Card. This is a Wyndham card that gets you the highest status at Wyndham, and you can use that status to status match to a lot of the hotel chains in Las Vegas. I'm also looking at the Chase business cards as they're just a good line of credit cards to own. So what have I learned in my credit card journey? Well, a couple things, right? There's a couple things that you always want to make sure of when you're dealing with credit cards. Always pay your statement in full. You don't want to leave some other balances on your card and have that APR hit. You basically, again, I always stress this, but you always want to treat your credit card as a debit card and pay your statement off in full, and that way you can get the maximum value out of your credit cards. I also learned that it's probably a good idea to plan out the cards you want around 524. You generally want to apply for Chase cards earlier in your journey so as to not be restricted by the 524. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably space out some of my card applications so that I'd also be able to receive the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I'm pretty satisfied with the cards I've opened up. I wouldn't want to change most of them, maybe just some of the timing along them so that I could optimize around 524, but overall I think this was good for my use case. As you can see, I tended to open up cards when I knew I was going to be doing some big spending. For example, every time I needed to pay tuition, I opened up a credit card. This was spending that I was going to be doing anyway, and tacking on an additional 2.85% convenience fee meant nothing when I got those sign-up bonus rewards. So what I would suggest is just don't apply for credit cards out of the blue. If you know you're going to be doing some big spending coming up, make sure you first of all can do it on credit cards. Most of the time you can't pay rent with credit card. So if you know you're going to be doing some spending, look for the best credit card for your use case and based on what credit cards you already have and how they can synergize together. Overall, I hope this was helpful and gave you some insight into my thinking and might help you along the way for your credit card journey. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, please feel free to leave them down below. I do enjoy replying to the comments, so I'll be in the comment section answering any questions that you have. And if you made it this far, thank you again so much for watching and for your continued support. Make sure to like and subscribe if you learned a little something from this video. And as always, have a great rest of your day and take care. Bye-bye.